2x6 through my hot tub, or my backyard shed being gone, yet everything was still in the place it was supposed to be in there.
Wow.
I mean, it just tore apart the whole shed, but the lawnmower, the snow blower, all the tools were right where I had left them, 2-3 days before.
Alert, extreme alert, emergency alert, extreme alert. Tornado warning in this area till 10:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Take shelter now. Check local media. NWS, Monday, June 22nd, 9:29 p.m.
It has been 5 years to this date when one of the worst storms in Grundy County history hit the Coal City area. The Coal City tornado ended up going behind the high school, ended up hitting these houses here on Quail Run, you can see behind me, and a lot of other subdivisions suffered massive damage from that tornado. Coal City Deputy Fire Chief Carl Wexelberg's house was one of those houses damaged behind the Coal City High School.
The storm. So I was kind of like sitting in my garage, and my garage faces the east, and just kind of watching the rain and everything kind of blow by. And all of a sudden I felt the pressure drop. And I was like, oh crap. So I closed the garage door, walked inside, got my family down to the basement, told them to put their shoes on. And within 30 seconds, you could actually start to hear it. And they do say it sounds like a freight train. I tend to agree a little bit. I think it sounds a little bit more like the reverse thrusters on a jet when you're landing. And they felt that pressure. And then we live in a tri-level, so we got in the hallway down in the basement and threw a couple of blankets over us, and probably a good thing because the windows broke out behind us.
Wow.
A couple of 2x4s came shooting through the window and stuff, and one actually embedded in the wall like about 3 feet away from us. So yeah, that was a fun 30 to 45 seconds is what I'm guessing.
After the tornado, Wexelberg explained what happened next.
Did run up upstairs, took a quick look around, saw that the roof had been lifted off.
Wow.
And obviously everything was not the way it was when we were there a couple minutes before. And then I started working my way outside, and I looked across the street, and I looked at their house, and I was like, if they were there, it's not going to be good for them, but they did fine. They were down in their basement. And then I started working my way around houses throughout the neighborhood, and actually got around to Rick Druce's house, and his family was in the crawl space, and I looked at his house. That's the one that split in two. It got picked up, and basically like the Wizard of Oz got dropped on him. So myself and my wife helped too at that point in time. She's a nurse and former firefighter paramedic, so we got them out of there.
Wexelberg was called into duty that same night.
And I came to the station, and at that point in the time I was on duty for the rest of the night. And when morning came, it was amazing what I saw.
Yeah, what did you
With
see?
it was just the devastation. And I was on duty the night or the day of the first tornado, and that wasn't as bad as this. And then when I came down my street and saw what happened to my neighborhood, I kind of knew that my day was done at that point in time.
Another Coal City resident told their story of being trapped inside his house and eventually rescued.
Heard a bunch of just, they say it's like a train, but it wasn't no train. It was like, I don't know, just deafening, pounding, hitting, throwing stuff. And then I opened the door. I was going to go to the crawl space, and that's when the door blew off the hinges, and it lasted about 3 seconds. I think I felt like I was there 30 minutes, but I really don't know. Just one of those things when you go through something like that. And I'm not saying I gave up. I just was sitting there thinking to myself, what's going to happen? Because the gas was so bad, and it was making my eyes water. I could hardly breathe. I had that board on my chest, and my left leg was trapped. All of a sudden, I turned the flashlight off because I was like, what am I going to do? So I was just laying there, and it was really quiet, really quiet. That was probably the worst part. And then all of a sudden I hear out of the blue my neighbor Mike Larson, my hero. I hear him yelling, and calm under pressure. He calmed my wife down, because she was really upset. And they just coordinated getting, I guess it was like a jigsaw puzzle off top of me, one at a time, which hurt a lot because there were certain things that were under certain things. Finally got me free, but I couldn't move because I was in so much pain in my stomach.
Another hard-hit area of the Coal City tornado was the Coal City Fire Station number 2 right behind me. The Coal City tornado ended up starting behind the high school, hit a bunch of neighborhoods in that area, and then moved southeast in this general direction. The repairs to the Coal City Fire Station building were completed the following year, and the cost of damages were more than $1 million. Right after the tornado, Coal City officials reported more than 850 structures were impacted, 106 were deemed uninhabitable, and 60 were total losses. The cost of the tornado debris cleanup for Coal City was more than $1 million. It was also announced in late 2018 that the village of Coal City took out $3 million in bonds to aid in their recovery efforts. In total, Coal City officials estimate around $13 million in damages from the EF3 tornado. Village Administrator Matt Fritz said Coal City did not receive federal aid due to the damage not meeting the $18.3 million requirement to receive funds. According to the National Weather Service, the Coal City EF3 tornado was the most powerful since the 1990 Plainfield EF5 tornado. They say the tornado was on the ground for more than 16 miles. Only a handful of people suffered injuries, and no one died from the tornado.